Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, and it's for real good morning, eh? How about that game last night? How about it? How about it? So let's look and see what happened before we get to the chat. It's 35 and sunny. So yesterday was summer, 60 degrees. No, the day before was summer. Yeah. So last night, good night as much as it could be. Wasn't a huge tally of games. Obviously, we know what Florida did. The Canucks beat the Islanders. Didn't expect that. The Devils beat the Mammoth. The Avalanche beat the Jets, and the Stars beat the Ducks, putting our Florida Panthers alone-ish in second place with 40 points. Now, Wings are there with 41 points. We've got a game in hand. So theoretically, but now we've seen this, right? For the most part, any team that has won 4, 5, or 6 games in a row in the Atlantic immediately goes to the top because it's just so tight. I mean, the Sabres, the Sabres are in last place. They are 7 points out of first place with 2 games in hand. Not that we expect the Sabres to win the division, but you get what I'm saying. The Atlantic is still anybody's game. 41 for the Wings, 40 for the Panthers, 40 for the Canadians, 40 for the Bruins, 39 for the Lightning. The wild card spots are the Islanders at 41, and then the Flyers at 40 because they got 2 games in hand on the Bruins. So, how we doing? Buck Skull, how we doing, buddy? Colin, Mason Marsh went to the Jackets for a 27 second round pick and the 26 fourth round pick. That's an interesting move. Is Columbus, where are they? Okay. That's interesting. I guess Columbus feels like with a little help, they can still, they haven't given up on the season. It's very interesting, huh? Simon, how we doing? Deneau to the Habs for a second round pick. Well. That's interesting. Again, let's take a look at. I know that Montreal was looking to get some kind of help. I don't need to sign up. They still have him as a king right now. He's played in Montreal before, obviously. So that's interesting to see if that actually does go through. Simon, yeah, the trades are speeding up. I think it's because of the Olympic break. I think teams might kind of want them. It looks like most of it, not most, but some. Obviously, at least the deal's being made for the Olympics. So it's adds a little spice to the holiday season. Hey, Miami sports. Spaceman says, I gotta love seeing crying Carolina fans. I mean, 3-0 is rough, right? We had a really nice guy in the chat last night. He's a Canes fan. He's been around for a little while. When it was 3-0, he came in. He's like, hey man, you know, he's a member here on the channel. He's like, hey man, sorry about the game. Maybe we'll see you in the playoffs. It's like, all right, that's cool. You know what I mean? Everything's cool. And then the next thing you know, boom, waka waka boom boom. You know what I mean? Mike says first place by tonight. Could happen. Scientist says lots of respect to Adam Gold, Carolina local radio host. Said the game wasn't a ref or a coaching issue, but a Canes not responding issue. And anyone who thinks otherwise is bullshitting themselves. Well, that's good. That's good to hear. Yeah, good to see someone on the opposite media who isn't sucked into the propaganda. Hungry says Twitter, Reddit are saltier than the Dead Sea today. I said my piece, right? I put my little 6 a.m. crash out. I didn't sleep. I didn't get 4 hours of sleep. I don't even know how much more than 3 hours of sleep I got. And I woke up and I saw everything that was going on. And I wanted to do that video in the recap room with Kermit, but I had my water softener set to go off at 6 a.m, so it was too noisy in there. Hey, Patel says, what an amazing win. I think that has to be the best regular season Panthers game I've watched. Yeah, that was pretty wild that happened that way. Yeah, the Sabres have a winning record. What did I do? Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, the Sabres, anybody, I mean, I don't think the Sabres are going to win the division, obviously, but the Atlantic is still there. Patel says Mason Marchment has a high salary and the picks don't warrant for this trade. Remember when Marchment was traded for a second rounder, or Marchand was traded for a second rounder that became a first? Still the best trade ever. All day long. Now, let me see what I thought Marchment's contract was $4 million. Am I wrong there? Or did he 4.5? 4.5. Was there anything retained? I mean, he's clearly a rental. Columbus is an interesting spot for him. You know, that's an interesting move. He doesn't, but Marchment didn't have a no move clause, so he didn't have a say in where he would go. What's his stats been like? Let's see. They still have him. Well, now they have him on the Jackets. Let's see. Yeah, so last year with Dallas, he had 22 goals. The season before, 22. Last year with Seattle, he only played 29 games and had 4 goals. Was he hurt last season? That's not something I'm familiar with. He had to be hurt to have played. No, excuse me, that's this year. What are you thinking, Jaws? Wake up. Wake up. I know I didn't get any sleep. So he's on pace for a little bit fewer goals than he would normally get. His shot percentage is cut in half from what it normally is. And that's an interesting move for Columbus. I don't think anybody would have really called that. Yeah, every team in the East is over 500. Yeah. Hunger says, Jaws being fiery but mostly peaceful in the morning was great. Yeah, those things tend to happen if I have to take more meds than I normally take. I get a little ornery. Hey, Dietrich. Yeah, I appreciate that, bud. Yeah, Marchand hit Bussy and don't ban me, YouTube. Now that was, how can I explain my thoughts on the Marchand whack? He whacked him. I think that's my thoughts on it. Yeah, Marchand definitely whacked Bussy. I think that's, I'll see myself out. Patel, didn't Dallas get pissed at Marchment during the playoffs and cast them aside to Seattle? That is correct. Correcto mundo. Yeah. Yep. So, hey, look, I'm just curious. Because the Kraken, let's see, where are the Kraken? Okay, so they're in dead last place in the conference. So I guess they figure nothing from nothing means nothing. So for the Kraken, that's a pretty good deal. That's a pretty good deal, actually, when you think about it. For what I don't understand, that's a heavy price for Columbus to pay. What was that again? Hold on a second. Now that I'm starting to wake up to it, a second round pick and a fourth to rent Mason Marchment, and they're in last place. Columbus is. That don't make a whole lot of sense to me. Like now that I'm digesting it, a second and a fourth to rent Marchment when their chances of making the division or making the playoffs are pretty low. I'm not so sure about that asset management there at all. I mean, unless they think they can re-sign them, you would have to think that the only way that that deal becomes profitable or even for Columbus is if they can keep him long term. But it's not like he's, I don't know, a 2 and a 4. That's a bit much. Vinny, a 4-game win streak, Big Dallas, and also Carolina. Yeah, the Colorado game never happened. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I don't remember playing the Avs. Do you? I don't know nothing about the. I didn't realize Colorado still had a team. I thought they moved back to Quebec. I don't remember that game. Patel says, I saw Borderell as the GM in Seattle. Is he related to the female Borderell who does games for Sportsnet? I don't know either one of them, but let's see. Let's see. Yes, Jennifer Borderell, and yes, they're siblings. They are siblings. Patel. That's his sister. Yeah, good call. Good catch there. Scientist says, do I think we see the same lines or anyone get some rest? Patel says, is Greer going to get some rest? I mean, I would like to see Greer get some rest, but these guys are hockey players. Unless he's really hurting, I doubt he wants to come out. He got beat the crap out of him last night. I mean, the slash on the hand, you saw a big red welt coming up. I don't know. I can't imagine they're going to have anything before the game here today since it's 6 o'clock. I don't even know if they'd have a morning skate or not. But, I mean, if you got to put studs in for Greer, maybe. But I'd be surprised if they did. He was hurting in a few spots last night. That dude is he's definitely sacrificing his body. Now that's a man who the Olympic break will do him some good. Greer especially. I think the Olympic break will do Samoskevich some good. I've seen him a couple of times. He looks like he might have a little something going on with one of his legs. Not anything major, but I saw him in a little bit of pain yesterday, and I saw him like testing it out towards the bench. So that's another couple of guys where, especially guys like Greer, where at least their bodies are going to get a little bit of rest. 2012 says Panthers equal the best team to take the ice since the Oilers in the 80s, 3-peat in T-minus 6 months. It's definitely in the realm of possibility. That's for sure. This doesn't feel it doesn't feel impossible. It was a little difficult start to the season, but most of the guys, we were definitely not completely ready to start this season. I think everybody kind of Maurice too, like the general ambiance I got from the team was like, man, can we have one more month off? And so they almost took the extra month off. Dietrich says from outside the wild card to second in the conference in like a week with injuries, feeling good. Well, remember, we were last in the conference, right? We hit dead last for a day. So it's all good stuff now. And you're starting to see a little bit of separation now in at least the Metro with the Hurricanes at 47 and the Jackets at 34. There's not much separation in the Atlantic. Like, I know Leaf fans are apoplectic and they're not happy with their team, but they're 6 points out of first place with 2 games in hand. You know what I mean? Like, while on one hand, I do kind of feel like that team has peaked in terms of this version of the Leafs, they still, if they won their 2 games in hand, would only be 2 points out of first place. Like, it's not Armageddon just yet. You know what I mean? The only team the Sabres aren't even really out of it. It's just everybody knows the Sabres aren't going to come back and win the division. But right now, any team if any one of these teams got on a real 10, 12 game win streak, they would just run away with the division and never to be caught. Patel says, I was working yesterday during the noon stream. I have to say, what a disaster for the Oilers. Getting Jari and 3 games later going to IR. The Oilers likely going to rely on Pickard and an AHLer. Also, amazing that Bussy is now a starter and Anderson cast aside as the backup. Well, Anderson always is hurt. Every year the dude gets hurt. And so, I've spoken on Bussy before. I was amazed that he had not gotten an opportunity previously. And up until last night, he had been deuces making good of his opportunity. But I suspect that last night in that third period is the most pressure that he's faced so far in any one of these games. And I'm not going to sit here and say he choked or anything like that. But like I said in the recap last night, pressure situations, when you're talking about playing against guys like Marchand and Reinhart and all these guys that have multiple cups, and you got Bussy out there who's still basically technically a rookie despite his age, sometimes it takes, sometimes experience wins, right? Hey, I see. Yeah, man, what a win, Capital says, put an A on Marchand's jersey. We wouldn't be where we are without him performing. No doubt. No doubt. I just want to know what, the dude just keeps on going. Honestly, have we seen one game this year? Maybe one game, maybe, where it was Marchand didn't really have that many legs, didn't really have the legs going tonight. He just plays hard all game long. Every time you see him, he's speeding up and down the ice. If there's a play to be made, he is going to haul ass to try to make that play. I mean, just incredible what he has done to keep himself in that shape at that age after all the hockey he's played. To just have that, he's got such a motor on him. It's just Icy says, yeah, ever since he came to Florida, he's been like a new person and rejuvenated. And that's very true, right? I mean, that can happen to anybody. You get into a bad situation, you get into a good situation, all of a sudden your energy's better. So he's having a blast for sure. Reinhart, Michael says Reinhart deserves an A too. I'm not so sure Reinhart would want it. He seems to be the quiet leadership type. You know what I mean? Patel says he's the youngest 37-year-old I've seen, and he outskates 18-year-olds. Yeah, it's just we're truly blessed. And like I said last night in the recap, I mean, this is all Zito. It's rare where a GM, I mean, he pulled the trigger on 2 trades last year, basically, right? Well, the Stern one wasn't great. But he pulled the trigger on 2 trades last year at the trade deadline that overwhelmingly you can point to those 2 trades and say, I don't think the Panthers win back-to-back without those trades. Now, maybe somebody else would have stepped up. Who knows? But just the energy that those guys brought last year at that point in time when Tkachuk was out and then when Ekblad was suspended, just the energy that Marchand making up for Tkachuk not really having it in the playoffs. Just you don't see trade deadline acquisitions when you think about it. Only one team wins a cup, right? And so all the rest of the trade deadline acquisitions, unless it's a young team just trying to get to the next level to get into the playoffs, kind of like the Panthers with Giroux. For the most part, most of those trades, they go by the wayside, especially if they're just rentals. Dumb Name says Marshy is on that Ekblad gear. Hey, man, just don't get caught, right? One Wild, a crazy guy, says, I don't know why, but I had a strong feeling this was going to happen. I usually give up hope. Did you have the same feeling? There was a concern that I wasn't sure for a little while. I wasn't sure that they were going to be able to turn this energy on. I knew that they had the physical ability. They didn't all just suddenly lose the physical ability. But it takes a lot of mental fortitude and a lot of want to play Maurice's system at a high level on a nightly basis. And don't fool ourselves. We're going to still have another slump or maybe even two at some point in the season. You know what I mean? We're going to have, a 4 or 5 game streak here or there where they're not really busting their ass the way they are now. You can't play a full season like this. But for a little while, there were multiple games that had come and gone where I thought, okay, this is the night. They're definitely going to turn it on for tonight. And then they didn't turn it on. And so I was getting a little bit concerned about, well, maybe they just completely wiped out. Maybe they were just completely washed out. And I keep pointing to it. I don't know what happened. I don't know if somebody said something, but this has been 2 seasons so far. This is everything that happened up to being down 4-1 to Columbus, and then everything that's happened since. That game just completely changed things, because when we got down 4-1, it was like they looked around the bench and they were like, no, this is bullshit. No, it ain't happening. And they have been pretty much like themselves since then. Capital, is there an ETA on Chuck's welcome back? The idea, assumption, hope is maybe the Winter Classic. But Maurice said yesterday they're not even sure when he's going to start practicing. They said he's on pace. He hasn't had a setback. Everything is on pace, but they haven't told Maurice, hey, this is the day he's going to practice yet. He's meeting all of the benchmarks. Everything is on schedule. But even when you ask Zito, they don't know for sure, which I kind of like that. You know what I mean? I kind of like that they haven't pinpointed one game and said that's the game for sure. They're just letting him naturally heal. But if it's not the Winter Classic, it's going to be real soon after that. Yeah, Maurice said Reinhart could be the captain. That's true. Patel says, I think the reason we give up hope is because we're Dolphin fans. Maybe. Scientist says, thoughts on Lundell being a future captain? I don't think it'll happen. And not because I don't think, I'm not sure the age. So Lundell is 24. Barkov is 30. So if Barkov, let me see, how long is Barkov's contract? Because he's in the middle, right? He is in year he's in year 4. So his contract right now runs out at age 34. That's going to be an interesting decision. Now, we're not going to get rid of Alexander Barkov. He is retiring as a Panther. I don't think there's any question there. The question is going to be, how many years after that does he want to sign for? So I think that's going to have an effect on whether or not Lundell gets a captaincy, because you're not taking it away from Barkov. So that's this year and 4 more seasons. So at that point, by the time Barkov would be looking to re-sign a new deal, Lundell would be 30. And then if Barkov decides to stay around till 38 with Kopitar, by the time he retired, if Lundell's still with us, now he's 34 or 35. I don't think that they would. I think they might go with somebody younger at that point. Pending what, who else is on the roster. I'm not 100% sure the team's next captain is on the roster. It would probably be Lundell. You never know what happens. I don't know if Samoskevich is that kind of guy. But I think Lundell he'd probably get an A at some point, you would think, right? Tell says, if Marchand on Ekblad gear, why Marchand makes so little mistakes and is always Ekblad's fault. It's uncanny, man. Ekblad's been good though this year. Knock on wood, all of that stuff. Ekblad's been good. Hey, Spaceman, the Canes fans are just crybabies. Everybody but Panther fans hates us now. It's been a hell of a ride, I'll tell you that. I see some comments and I'm just like, that's why I made that video this morning. I'm like, y'all full of shit. If you actually believe, if you really sit there and think, yeah, Colin Campbell is boop, 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 boop. Yeah, Gary, make sure the Panthers win tonight. If somebody really, really in their heart believes that, then why would they watch? Why would somebody who actually believes their team is getting cheated and the league is rigged, why would they watch if they're so sure that that's what's happening? It's because they don't believe that. It's just garbage. It's just garbage. Craig says, we haven't been hit by the flu yet either. Yeah, good point. Good point. 2012 says 63 is the signing of the 21st century. It's Zito hit a home run, that's for sure. Yeah, exactly. No reason to rush the return. Hungry says, random question. Do teams usually wear the Winter Classic jersey in other games, or is it just us? I'm not so sure. It's a good question. So Patel, I appreciate the compliment, but we're not doing the Hurricane stream. I did put out a post. I have a question for you guys. Do you not? I don't even know how to say this, because if you don't see the post, you wouldn't know it. I still got this fever. So I'm here now, and I only got like 3 hours worth of sleep last night. I got to try to rest this afternoon so I'm good for the Panther game. So no, we're not going to do the Hurricanes one. I'm going to try to watch the game, but I have a feeling I'm going to pass out and fall asleep. I still got a fever, unfortunately. I'm really jacked up on meds. That's the reality of the situation. Which usually makes for good videos like this morning. But I put out a post early this morning about it, and nobody is there's no thumbs up, there's no nothing. And so I was kind of wondering if nobody saw it at all. Frank says the third goal went in last night, decided to take my sleeping juice. Wake up to the post-game coverage showing Bob fist pumping. What the F just happened? Yeah, Frank. Exactly, man. So Michael says Maurice said he thinks Lundell will be the captain of the team one day. All right. Okay. I mean, he's definitely capable. I just don't know how the years would time out. Yeah, they call us dirty. They call us nasty. Somebody needs to make that a rap song, Spaceman. We need a Panthers fan that can rap. I cannot rap. I can pretend to rap, but we need somebody that can actually rap to make a rap song, and that's how it opens up. They call us dirty. They call us nasty. Don't make me write it. Don't we got somebody that can rap around here? 2012 says our third and fourth lines would be near any other team's first and second line, right? So Patel says, isn't the cap going up and the Panthers can sign most of their players? We have no cap issues next year for the most part. We got to sign Bobrovsky to an extension. And then with the cap that's going up, we got money. We have money to sign people. And if we want to upgrade the bottom pair or the bottom line, the fourth line, money is not an issue. Even if Bobrovsky wants his full $10 million, we're good next year. But that's why I keep saying if we're going to trade for anybody with term, we do want to know what Bobrovsky's number is going to be, because we don't want to create problems for ourselves where we don't have them yet. You think I added extra years to Lundell's age? Barkov at 38, Lundell will be 32. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, Jones has been really good. Yep, our rat keeps outplaying guys nearly half his age. Now, here's a question for you guys. Do you think he hit Bussy in the nuts on purpose? I mean, he just kind of skates up and whacks him. I mean, there's no way around it. Like, what do you guys think about that? Patel says, right now the Panthers are hated. A few years back, it was the Lightning. Before that, the Blackhawks, the Flyers, the Avalanche. Yeah, very true. Very true. Yeah, we're doing the Winter Classic 2 more times later in the season. Hey, David. How you doing, bud? Hold on a second. What the hell am I hearing out here? Oh, okay. All right. The neighbors got a new dog. They got a 6-month-old German Shepherd puppy, and she got out the other day, and that was a barrel of fun. That was a lot of fun. She's adorable. Nothing more cowbell won't fix. Exactly, Hungry. Gotcha, Kazuma. Do I need more cowbell for my fever? I had that shirt. That's a good story. This was years ago. Oh, my God. This was at least 15 years ago. I was at an estate sale, and it was close to the last day. And I go upstairs, and I'm going through the guy's closet, and he's got some T-shirts. And, I was just looking to see if he had anything interesting. And I'm standing there, and it was just this green shirt, and it just had the whole thing on. It's like, you know what I need is more. It was like the whole cowbell thing. I forget the saying. I got a fever and I need more cowbell, whatever it was that the shirt said. And I just started bawling out laughing in the middle of this estate sale. And I'm just like, there's no way. It just tickled my fancy so much. I was laughing hysterical, and people are looking at me. And I'm like, I can't believe it. I can't believe I found this shirt at a yard sale. And I wore the F out of that shirt. It had holes in it. I still kept wearing it yard sailing. It was a good conversation piece. I would get a lot of good deals cheap wearing that shirt. Hungry says, fun fact, with Tristan Jarry injured, the Oilers tandem of Connor Ingram, 856, and Calvert Pickard, 858, are rocking the worst save percentage in the AHL and NHL, respectively. Man. Now, here's a question for you. When Carolina picked Bussy up off of waivers, was Edmonton ahead of them? Could Edmonton have picked up Bussy before Carolina? Because if so, whoopsie doodles, whoopsie daisies. Can you imagine Edmonton with Bussy would be a problem? I mean, Carolina with Bussy is a problem, but Edmonton with Bussy would be a problem. That would be a big problem. Yeah, Dietrich, they hate us because they ain't us. Dave says, hate us high and low everywhere we go. Our cups, we love to show your hockey team blows. Come on, a little help. I'll ask chat. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, wait a second. Hold on a second. Hold on. Hold on a second. Hold on. What are we doing here? Hold on a second. Let's share the screen. Let's do this together. What was that first line? Hold on. What was that first line? Come back over here. Hold on. Hold on a second. They call us dirty. They call us nasty. All right. So let's come down here. All right, let's see if it can do it. Let's see. Come on, Chet. They call us dirty. They call us nasty. South Florida Heat got the league all gassy. Sunrise nights, red seats getting rowdy every time we roll through. Whole barn getting loudy. Yeah, they hate our style because they say we're crossing the line, but we just play hard every shift, every time. Forecheck, heavy hit, first ask later, claws out, teeth bared, natural born agitators. From the crease to the boards, yeah, we live in the grime. Not pretty hockey, but we're still going to shine. They boo when we score, throw shade when we win, but the scoreboard talks. Let it settle the sin. Damn. Then the hook. Whole league mad when the Panthers attack. Fan base is salty. Put the salt in the chat. They love to complain, say we're playing unfair, but hate sounds sweet when you're breathing that air. Original six scowl when we walk in the rink. Cold City's mad because the dynasty sank. We don't need their love. We don't need their praise. Just another enemy added to the flames. They say we're villains, say we ruined the game. Funny how the villains always remember the name. From Barkov, calm to Kachuk in your head. Mind games heavy. Yeah, we're living rent-free instead. Damn, this is long. They say Florida can't hockey. Yeah, we heard that before. Now they circle the calendar, dreading the score. White towels wave the cats stay feral. Welcome to the jungle, pressure getting unbearable. And then, geez, it keeps on going. Whole league mad when the Panthers attack. Fan bases salty, put the salt in the chat. They love to complain, say we're playing unfair, but the hate sounds sweet when you're breathing that air. We ain't angels now. I never claim that crown. We just hit the ice trying to shut your tone down. Every whistle late, every scrum gets wild. That's Panthers hockey, born mean, born styled. So keep all the hate. Yeah, we feed on that fuel from the Everglades chill to the playoffs rule. They all hate us. Guess we're doing it right. Florida Panthers, yeah, we bark. Yeah, we bite. Wow. Oh, my God. Yeah. Exactly. Who said that? Yeah. Yep. Yes, hungry. Yep. Hold on a second. I'm not signed in, so let me screenshot these because I don't want to lose it. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Hold on. I want to make sure I don't lose it. I just screenshot everything. Let me log in and see if it's still if it'll still stay there for me. It probably will. No, I lost it. That's okay though, because we still got it. We still got. Oh my God! Wow, that was. Hey, thank you, Jason. Thank you, Tipsy. Thank you, bud. This is the Canes just bitching about the Jarvis non-call. Although we had 15 non-calls against us. Let's go, Cats. 2 more points. Let's go. Go gig 'em. Gig 'em, Aggies. Oh my God. That was great. Let me make sure I got all my. I can't believe that was actually pretty decent. That was actually pretty decent. Jackson says, can you imagine if the internet and the social media existed during the Islanders dynasty? Right, Jackson? Oh my God. All right. Let me scroll down to the bottom. I missed a lot. David says Hurricanes 27, Aggies 24. Oh, they definitely swallowed the whistles last night. No doubt. Hey, look, I mean, it was a trip. Rodriguez tripped them. I don't think anybody's denying that. Molly, that was funny as hell. Jeez. Yeah, Hungry. We'll have to work on that. I'll have to figure out. We'll have to get somebody to create some music for that. Let me make sure all my screenshots are there. Hold on a second. Let me just make sure that all took. It should have taken. It's never given me a problem before. Yeah, we're good. We got the whole thing there. That's wild, man. Did I get the whole thing? Let me see. They call us dirty. Born agitators. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I got the whole thing. Okay, we're good. That's crazy. It wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad. Hungry says, imagine the level of shit housing that would have happened if there were social media days back in the days of the Broad Street bullies. I know. It's just wild. I mean, that's the whole. Oh, you can make music, Hungry? All right, email me. We'll talk. We'll talk. The only music I made, well, I mean, I can play the piano, but the only beat I ever made was that Panthers song, and I don't remember how I did it. I found a beat maker online. You're talking 8 years ago. I found a beat maker online, and I made the original just like that. And then I did something in my editor with it. I reversed it, and then I put an echo on it by accident. And that's the music you hear. Like it was created accidentally on purpose. Like I did something and I layered the tracks by accident, and one was in reverse and one was not. And that's the song. And when I heard that beat, I'm like, save. I'm like, I ain't changing that. I don't know what I did. I don't even know the program I used. It was just a magical day. Beck says, I always say this too. If it was the other team's player, they'd be on cloud nine, right? Yeah, good point. David says, going to probably be a pretty violent game in a few days, even though Erod got an overhand right in. That's not enough when they go after Rhino. Yeah, nobody's talking about Reinhardt getting plastered along the boards by Walker. No, nobody. I don't see anybody online mentioning that. You know, the hell was that noise? I don't know. All right, Hungry. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, scientist, email me, man. Email me. flyingfluffyhockey@gmail.com. We'll have fun with that for sure. Holy crap. Jackson, I appreciate that, man. Well, I didn't get much sleep. Oh, they're out there in the kitchen. I didn't get much sleep. That's the other reason I can't. I got a leak under my sink that went all the way down into my garage. So I got the water off to the kitchen. So I got it drying out now. I'm pretty sure I know where the leak is, but unfortunately, it's the connection to the faucet. So I got to get all the way up under there and turn water back on and try to figure out where the hell the leak is and see if I can fix it or not. I mean, I can fix it if I can reach it. Craig says, or when the goalies chop dudes in the crease like Hextall and Billy Smith, right? Yeah, can you imagine that? Yeah, David. Yeah, any goalie not chopping time to get another goalie, right? Yeah, we'll work it out. It's the area in that kitchen sink has been a problem since I got this house. It's an old farmhouse, you know what I mean? It just is what it is. It needs to be replumbed, rewired, everything. But the insulation's good. Yeah, there used to be a lot of different reasons guys avoided the crease. Kazuma says, Carolina fans debate with me saying the refs were paid off by the Cats. And when I told him the refs blew a 3-0 lead, he replied, at least our fans show up. And I sent them the numbers saying otherwise. Block. I mean, we could do that here, right? Right? NHL attendance rankings. Let's see. So we going by capacity, going by total? What are we going by? So here, if you'd like to go by total, Montreal Canadiens are first, and the Florida Panthers are second, and then the Toronto Maple Leafs are third. The Carolina Hurricanes are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That would be 12. So, yeah, the Panthers draw more than the Leafs. But, hey, don't let that fool anybody, right? Don't let that fool anybody. But I put out that I haven't even Jackson says it's hilarious. Roughing in hockey is literally one of the biggest appeals outside of speed and skill. They want to turn it into football. You know? Now David says, David says again, I do feel sorry for Carolina fans to a point. They have been dejected after blowing a 3-0 lead halfway through the third to their arch rivals. No doubt. Like we would be freaking out. But we would be pissed at our players. Right? Like, maybe I'm being a homer, but I've been doing this a long time here with you guys, 10 seasons. And I can count on definitely less than one hand. I need less than a hand to count how many times the chat in a recap or in a stream has really been even remotely close to blaming a loss on the refs. We've had a couple, we've had a few, but generally speaking, we just get pissed at our own guys. We don't argue. We argue over which player of ours is at fault. That's what I see Panther fans doing. If they're going to argue, it's like he blames Ekblad, but he blames Bob. You know what I mean? Like I don't see very many. It was the ref's fault. Mike says, agreed. Do they even allow tackling in the NFL, or do they just play flag football now? It's bad. It's gotten and it just continues to get worse. Kazuma says, someone else told him in the comment, you show up to games because nothing else to do in Raleigh. Oh, is what it is. David says, I'd like to think I'd let it bother me for about an hour, but then on to the next. But we've got 2 cups in a row. So kind of different for us. Exactly. Yeah, Donna says sometimes it's even Kyle's fault. It's always Kyle's fault. Kyle started this whole thing. Kyle's the one that went on vacation to Florida, okay? And there was a losing streak. And when he came back, they started winning. And we've been to the Cup every year since then. It is 100% Kyle's fault for going to Florida. It just happens to be that it's his fault we won 2 cups. You know, I mean, it is what it is. SoFlo says we don't ever talk about losses being the refs' faults because we never get bad calls. Gregory Campbell has the refs in our back pocket. Oh my God. Like I get talking shit on the internet and you get irritated and you leave out, put out a comment. Well, I understand all of that, but they believe it. Like they believe it. That they actually believe that Campbell and Parrish are like, hey, Bettman, make sure, against the Canes, 3 goals, all right, deuces. Like there's a level of, I don't know what the word is, disassociation from reality that you have to reach. Like, why? And even if Colin Campbell was trying to do that, right? Like, even if Campbell was trying, why would the league, what is his superpower that this league that is run by billionaire owners, what's Campbell's superpower that the league goes, oh, wait, the Campbells said we got to have the Panthers win, so we better have Florida win. Like, what's the superpower that these dudes have? Because it just doesn't, it's not computing to my computer. I'm scrolling up to see what I missed here. Craig says, get Kyle to Florida. It's interesting because he went to Florida the first year we lost the cup. Then he went to Florida the year we won the cup. That's when Ellie died while he was gone. And him and I went to Florida last year. Shit. You might have just cost me money, Craig. Damn it. He's been to Florida all 3 years. Don't tell him I said that. I'll have to figure something out. Kazuma says, now that Jarvis is out, do I think Carolina might drop some points? I mean, I feel bad for the dude being out. I mean, he's out there playing hard. He got tripped. It's an unfortunate result of the trip. There's no way it's not a trip. I mean, at least like Eck was reasonable. He's like, hey, man, guys have been tripping guys who are breaking towards the net all the time. Like, it's a known thing. If you're heading towards the net and you might have free reign there, you might get tripped. Hungry says, at this point, I just feel bad that somehow the Blue Jackets managed to lose while having Gregory Campbell in their front office. Yeah, that's the other, right? Exactly. Mike says, I mean, that close loss, the close against the Avs, the refs screwed us. I know. Exactly. It was clearly. Do I have a referee costume to do a skit on this? No, that's one thing I don't have. No. What if I did a skit and I was Colin and Gregory Campbell, but I was wearing my unicorn and Sasquatch onesies? What do you guys think of that idea? If I did a skit as Colin and Gregory Campbell, and then I'd have to have one more onesie to be Parrish, though, wouldn't I? Yeah, where were the refs during the Avalanche games, right? Merritt says, yeah, we paid the refs. They're ours. We literally own them. Oh, here we go. So this might actually be real. Silva says, trade alert. Montreal Canadiens have acquired Philippe Deneau from the Kings for a second-round pick. I think that's real, right? Somebody mentioned that earlier, and there he is. Well, that's interesting. That is something that the Canadiens definitely needed, no doubt. Now he didn't have a great year last year, and so far this year there's no goals at all. So he must have regressed here a little bit. 27 goals with the Kings in 22, 18 and 23, 17 and 24, 8 last year, and none this year. But his faceoff percentage is still good. So it's definitely something that will help them for sure. Now I just wonder if they're going to go get a goalie. Good job, Silva. It's about time you reported on a real one. David says, to quote Austin, the Avs stomped the mud hole in us, but that's okay. We're improving. The Avs may be peaking too soon. Yep. Yeah, get this man to South Florida, right? Yeah, Exuma, I don't remember. Yeah, exactly. What Avs game? I don't remember that Avs game. We're on what's game 6 or 7 of the 14-game win streak I predicted, right? It's happening. Now if they go 13-1, other than that Avs game, we're going to have a petition to just have that game eliminated from history. Craig says Greyhound bus. Nah, he'd fly down there. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. It's all money related, Craig. My parents are doing a 50th anniversary thing in February. Don and I were thinking about getting down there. I don't know that it's going to happen. But maybe if I could find a way to get Kyle down there for a week's vacation during the Olympic break. I mean, he's been to Florida all 3 years. So maybe. I'll have to think about it. Don't tell him I said anything. Don't rat me out. I want to at least get something out of it, like he's got to mow the grass or something. Hey, Bill, how are you doing, bud? Mike says, oh, yeah, did we score close enough? Makes my ref paid off theory more credible. Exactly, 2012. Treated like a slap shot, Rhodey. All right, scientist. Appreciate you, bud. Thanks. Kazuma says, shave the beard, pretend to be Bedman talking to the refs on how to help the Cats. Oh, no. No. That cannot happen. We have Kyle shave, and Kyle can pretend to be Bettman. Yeah. We'll slick Kyle's hair back. He don't have much to shave. I cannot do it. It can't happen. You think I look like a meth head with the beard? You should see how skinny my face is without it. Freaking my body's trying to, I spent 2 days without eating my peanut butter and jelly waffles, and I just start wasting away to nothing. It's not good. And even Don is like, yeah, I think you got skinny again. I'm like, yeah, I know. No, my pants are falling down. I have the opposite problem of most men my age. Is what it is. Hey, the IDK. Yeah, that happened last night. Bill, great ending to the game, man. No doubt. No doubt, man. It was, we had Sasha out and everything. Yeah, exactly, Silva. Game 7 of the 14-game win streak. Yeah, we saw that one, Columbus, and we talked about that one. Columbus sends us a second and a fourth to the Kraken for Mason Marchment. I really feel like that's an overpayment to rent Marchment and then Columbus is in last place. I mean, that's a hell of a high price, in my opinion, to pay. Maybe it's just me. Kazuma says, fun fact, Jake Paul got surgery for a broken jaw after last night's fight. He had 2 titanium plates and lost 7 teeth. I didn't watch the fight, but I saw the highlight. One interesting, this is just a question now. Nobody get their panties in a bind. I haven't watched boxing since probably Larry Holmes. So that's how long it's been since I watched boxing. Not that was a real huge match, but the highlights that I saw, is it just a normal thing now for women to announce boxing? It was for me unusual and irregular. It was like this lady was yelling about this fight. And is that new, or has that been going on? And I just don't watch boxing. How's that been received by the boxing community? Because I know each sport has had their introductions with that. And I just wasn't expecting it, because I haven't watched boxing in whenever the hell Larry Holmes was. She does the Netflix fights. interest. So that's the same girl. I guess this was on ESPN or something. Dave says, but for 40 or 50 million, I'd take a broken jaw and a few of your teeth. I mean, if you get the right doctor to fix the jaw, yeah. Right? Silva says, Columbus needs to make the playoffs for this year. They've been a poverty franchise for their entire existence. It seems Marchment is a bit of a reach for a 2 and a 4. I got to assume that they think they're going to sign him. I mean, the 2 is, we only gave up 2 2s for Sam Bennett, Zuma says, I'm worried now Maurice will pull the goalie with 5 minutes left. Oh, it's coming. He did it with 4 already. Next up is 5, no doubt. He's working his way to 10 minutes, I'm sure. It was on Netflix. I see. Dave says, I used to get my ass kicked for free. Silva says, talk about Columbus, their best points percentage ever was .659. They never made the playoffs in the top 3 of their division. How they still have fans is beyond me. Well, yeah, at least like the Panthers had their run in 96 that got some people hooked. You know what I mean? They have 5 playoff wins in their history. How long have they been around? Yeah, pull the goalie to start the game. Columbus Blue Jackets. How long have they been around? So since 2000. Since 2000. And the only series they won was the one where they beat the Lightning. That's it. So 25 seasons, 6 playoff appearances, a playoff record of 15 and 26. So have they won other? Let me see. Lost in the first round, lost in the second round in 18-19. That's the year that they beat Tampa, right? And then they also lost in the quarterfinals in 2008 and 2009. And the coaches, King, Gallant, Hitchcock, Arneal, Richards, Tortorella, Larson, Vincent, and then Everson. Torts was the only one that really got them moving. Torts is the only one that got them going back to back to back 4 times in a row. Yeah, that's a rough one. SoFlo says it was pretty bad, but the teeth were still attached to the jawbone, but the jaw split in half, so a whole row of teeth were intact but sidewinded. God. The highlights were only a minute long. It seemed like he was getting his ass whooped way before he got his glass jaw broke. Like, there were a few moments, at least when I saw the highlights, it kind of looked like maybe they were going to think about maybe he should have stopped the fight sooner than that. Or I guess they don't do that anymore unless the guy is just completely obliterated. Do they stop the fights anymore these days? David, yeah, it's 25 years, man. It's 25 years. 2012 says turn all power plays on the 6-on-4 pull, Bob. Silva says, Maurice probably having them do 6-on-5 drills because the 6-on-5 play has improved dramatically. They definitely been able to handle the puck better. That's for sure. I have a friend that's getting into hockey and was watching the Jackets play the other day. I explained their sad existence to him, but I might have given him depression. Silva, yeah, no, 15 and 26? 15 and 26. They've won 2 rounds. Or, let me see, 2008, 2009. They lost in the quarterfinals. So I still think that that's only the second round back then. and then they beat the Lightning, and that's the only other round that they've won. That's a long time. Hey, thank you, Zach. Thank you, bud. Much appreciated, buddy. He says, wishing everyone an early Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Out of the country on vacation, but Jaws the Warrior jersey should be on his way. All right, thank you, bud. I appreciate you, Zach. Thanks, bud. I'm looking out for it. I'll open it up as soon as we get here. Hungry, yeah, that's I'm looking forward to that. We got to make it as, we'll have to see if we make it as cringe as possible. I gotta get an outfit for it too, though. Right? I gotta get an outfit for it. Either that or I gotta spend a couple of weeks in the gym and get a little jacked up, put on a wife beater, put the hat on, be all, you know what I mean? Take the glasses off though, dumbass. But you get what I'm saying. We'll or maybe I'll get a Panther skull cap. A good one. Yeah, we gotta get an outfit. Dave says, I'm going to guess without Googling that the Panthers had a worse record for longer. Oh, I don't. Yeah, we didn't win from 1996 to 2000. Yeah. Almost exactly the same, David. Pretty much. Good call. Yeah, babe, I need to listen to that song. Silva says, oh, yeah, Vetrano had took down Robertson from behind and slammed his head into the ice full force. But all I'm hearing about is how the dirty the Panthers are because Erod totally tripped Jarvis. And then they stacked the examples that they made up in their head as more examples. Like it was a trip. It was a trip. The dude is cutting in to rush to the goal. Half the time, the defenseman or the player that's in that position is going to do what Erod did and trip the dude. I mean, it's just what happens. Yeah, Jaws and a wife beater. Yeah. Panthers band. Oh, the Panthers. Yeah, I think I have one. Do I have one? Oh, I don't know. I'll have to think of some ideas. I'll have to think of some ideas. Yeah. Yeah. Scientists in Hungary, I'll this afternoon I'll create a group email. Yeah. Yeah, what did I now the one time what did I do? I think I just wore a tank top. I wasn't quite a wife beater. When I did the ice baby, hold on a second. Now I gotta find it. When I did the Nights baby, hold on a second. I wonder how many people have actually even seen this. Hold on. Let's see. Let me see if I can find this. Which one is the Nights baby? Yep, here we go. Hold on a second. I don't know. Hold on a second. I gotta listen to this too. This was. Wait, let me make sure this is the right one. No, not the Rocky Balboa one. No, Jaws, not that one. Hold on, bear with me. Bear with me here. Where the hell is the Nights baby thing? Was it in game 2? Let me see. Yeah. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. This is from, I did a recap of game 2 when Vegas won the cup.
And go Caps.
Hey, yo, Vegas, how you doing? Let's kick it.
Nights, baby.
Vegas.
Nights, baby.
All right, stop. Yo, Vegas Insights. You made it to the finals. That's nice. Panthers, really helping you out. Need a top line and a coach, no doubt. Will it ever stop? Ask Dale if you want to lose weight. Eat kale. Panthers going to give up a second to Seattle to take Matheson and a flock of Davy cattle.
What?
You heard me correctly. Ovi going to win a cup directly. Vegas be crying in the soup when Flurry giving goals to the DC crew. Coming or going, the Panthers never know. It's a doggone shame about the Yager flow. If you got a problem with lines revolving, call up the Cats and Dale will resolve them.
Nights, baby.
Vegas.
Nights, baby. Nights, baby.
Vegas.
Nights, baby.
Now pancakes are better than waffles. Expansion day for the Cats was awful. Jackets giving up on Carlson. Had a transformation like Kelly Clarkson. Were they paid off? I don't know. Nothing explains losing Marcia. So Vegas going to win a cup in the first year. McPhee drinking gallons of hater tears. 96 points and we missed it. Vegas in the finals got me pissed and salty like a box of crackers. Bitching and whining like millennial slackers. Like it or not, they made it to the show. Got me strangling pink flamingos. If you got a problem with lines revolving, Vinny and Doug are sure to resolve them. All right, game 2, Stanley Cup.
Hey, we're gonna. Hey,
what?
Muchacho, over here.
You again?
Hey, come on. Why don't you let me do the intro tomorrow, huh? Instead of these gringos doing the yappy rappy, huh? Come on, I'm the star of the show, huh?
I really need a better hobby.
Huh?
So, yeah. Oh, so there it is. Back when the beard was solid black. Back when Uncle, you remember that one? Yep. Yeah, if you want to lose weight, eat kale. Oh well. So was it also not I'm not saying nothing, but if I were you, I wouldn't be drawing attention. You have to understand, Silva. It's so bad it's good. You know what I mean? I didn't win the Darryl Hall lottery, so I went the Weird Al Yankovic route, just without the. Oh man, I still have that gold chain though. It's obviously not real, but I still have that somewhere in the recap room. So strangling flamingos. So dumb name. What I had done was, because I was against Vegas, I bought a bunch of blow up flamingos, and the shtick was every time Vegas was going to lose a game, I was going to like strangle the pink flamingo, or I was going to do it when Washington won the cup or whatever it was. So I think I still have those suckers laying around too. That's where Francisco came in. He was a pink flamingo. That's kind of how Francisco ended up part of the channel. I was messing around with Vegas because I was so pissed off that we had given him Marchessault and Smith. So there's a lot of lore behind a lot of this stuff that if people just watched one video, like, what? Yeah. And that like people, well, how did Kermit end up in the video? That in that video, you saw Kermit going across the screen like that. That's what's in the fight song. When you see Kermit going across the screen, that's what that's from. I forgot more. I've done more videos than I could ever imagine to remember. And Donna finds this old stuff and shows it to me. And I'm just like, oh my God, I can't. I remember when I did that. I remember when I did that. Good times. Good times. So, all right, everybody. I'm going to go get some rest. I'm going to get a little bit of rest before the game tonight. Members stream starts 5:50. The game's at 6 tonight, right? 6? Yeah, so the members stream starts at 5:15. And I'm going to try to get some sleep. I 3.5 hours maybe last night. I didn't get much sleep. So the coffee is starting to wear off now. So hopefully I can get some rest. I'm going to try to just watch the Canes game, have a little bit of fun that way. But I have a feeling that's where I'm going to be. I wanted to make sure I got plenty of energy for tonight. So thanks for hanging out with me. Appreciate all the love, support, all super chats. All you guys are fantastic. And I'll see you members at 5:15.